Hello. I've been in the tabletop role-playing game hobby now for 40 years. 40 years next month in April 2024. I started in April 1984. And throughout those 40 years, I've had my fair share of players and GMs and gaming tables and groups and all sorts. And as you can imagine, I've got quite a few anecdotes and horror stories to tell about problems that I've had at the table. I'm not going to share any of them right now because I don't know if anybody's watching this who are at my tables, or at those tables, and I don't want to embarrass anybody. But it runs the gamut from verbal abuse to physical attacks to people getting overly emotional at the table to friends in real life falling out and all sorts. And one of the questions, this has been going on for a long time. There's always been problem players or problem GMs, and people always asking what am I going to do about it. You go to any role-playing board, especially the original ones, and there'll be loads of questions saying I've got this problem with a player, they keep doing this, this and this, what do I do? And my answer is, no, across the board, my answer is just have a conversation. Just sit them down, everyone sit down, either you and the player or the group, and have a conversation as to why things aren't working. Why are you doing this? Why are you not being engaged? Or why are you being rude? Or why is this happening? I mean, if it's really bad, if the person's being really vile, then just kick him to the curb. It really is as simple as that. Or just leave the group. I'm sorry, but it's an old saying in the hobby, no gaming is better than bad gaming. And I absolutely 100% agree. I went through a bad patch in the early 2000s with two or three different groups that I was trying out with, and it just wasn't working out. And I was getting really disillusioned with the hobby because of it, so I just stopped doing it and went off into different things. I think that's probably originally when I was getting into games design, because I wasn't gaming, so I still want to be involved with the hobby, so that's what I did. But yeah, just sit down and have a conversation, just have a chat, a talk about why they're doing things, and you might actually find out a few surprising things. Maybe they didn't realise what they were doing, and they might just turn around and say, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise that it was having that kind of effect. I'll pack it in." Or I'll be more conscious of it. Or they might be having might be something going on in real life, which is the kind of transition into the table. They're sort of kind of acting out at the table because they're struggling with something in real life, and then then you can sort of work through those problems and might even be able to help them. I mean, if you do sit down and have the conversation, and they just turn out to be massive douchebags who just think they're being funny and they have no intention of changing, then yeah, by all means, just dump them, because nobody wants that sort of hassle. I mean, you can take the games as seriously as you like, and I think that's probably why a lot of people don't confront people at the table, because they're a bit concerned about it's only a game. Maybe I'm taking it a bit too seriously, but at the end of the day, if they're ruining your fun for any reason, then yeah, take it seriously, because this is your time and your energy that you're using, and they're literally just sapping it away from you, and nobody wants that. I mean, come on, we watch grown men at football matches crying because their team lost. They're emotionally involved in something that I don't think is important. And no doubt, so if you don't think that it's important, then just rethink that, because you do this hobby, you're enjoying this hobby, so why should you be made to feel upset just because of somebody else's actions? Don't ever think that your feelings and the subject and about the hobby are invalid at all. Just went off on a tangent then. I do apologise, trying to make a point. I don't know where I was going with it. Streams of consciousness. So yeah, literally just sit down and have a conversation. Yeah, the conversation might feel a little bit confrontational, but the fact is, if they're causing a problem in the first place, then they're the ones. Oh god, this is going to sound really childish, but they're the ones that started it. Yeah, they started it. They're the ones already being confrontational because they're being disruptive. So you sitting them down and having a chat with them about it is the least you can do. There's no point in getting angry back, because I mean, especially between people that have known each other for quite a while, or setting up some sort of weird revenge against the PC or what have you, because that's how people fall out in real life. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, it's just a game, but yeah, people can get really miffed. And in my experience as well, I have watched relationships either get strained or end because of what happened over a role-playing game table, because of people's attitudes to each other. So yeah, that's the first thing you do: sit them down and have a conversation. Don't get bullish. There's no point. Otherwise, or because then all you're doing is responding to them. That's probably what they want. They want a reaction. So sit down and have a chat, and if you can work it out, fantastic. If you can't, just go separate ways. It really is as simple as that. So So yeah, too long didn't listen. If anything's going wrong in your game, have a chat about it. Literally spent 5 minutes explaining that, and I literally explained it in about 15 words. So really sorry that I wasted your time, everybody. Anyway, thanks for listening. Ta-ra.